Here we are. Let's do it. We can stick with these colors. I think these colors should be fine. These players are going to make it easy for us here as we have the first play all three in Group D in T90 Titans League Season 2 for Villese, and then the second round technically for Sitaux. We just said a lot here, Dave. Sitaux played very well against Viper in his Nomad game, but didn't end up getting the win. We both felt like he could have. So he's opted to not ban Nomad, and we start that off here. He's playing as the Malians, and we've got Lithuanians here for Villese, and we've got another fun generation. Let's just put it that way here on this version of Nomad.
Yeah, plenty of space to play around with on the land. Both players getting really good dock spots on either side, opposite ends of the map. So if they want to do pressure, they're going to have to go with forward docks or just go for an FC play. And we have a pawn in the middle, which could come into play late game for water control. But also, there's a little crossing at the top of the pawn. So
I love that.
Very, very interesting generation. And this is what assuming this is like the same as our WWC Nomad generations. This was the thought process with us, right? We didn't want people to always go for water every single game, which you can do in a 1v1 on the standard DE Nomad, and you just send your ships around and eventually you'll find your opponent's dock. We wanted the possibility for pawns like this in the center, and we wanted the possibility for FC plays rather than just fully committing onto Navy.
Yeah, and the whole thing is we don't want Nomad to be treated like every other map where you're like, okay, I'm going to pick this if I'm going to do this strat and it's going to work perfect. Because that's not what Nomad's about. Nomad's about adapting, right? And we have two very adaptable civilizations. The Malians able to afford so much early because their wood buildings being cheaper. But yeah, I mean, and then you've got the Lithuanians who start with all that extra food. So they don't really need to feel any pressure to bring in a boar or a sheep right away. But their docks are very far apart from each other. And there's some sheep or pigs, I guess, scouting the shoreline for Villese. He knows right now that his opponent's dock is nowhere near him. This is very important information.
Great scouting from him. He found 3 sheep immediately. He's going to find that pond, and he scouts all the shoreline of that pond and also all the shoreline north of his own dock. So
oh my God,
he's sending the sheep to the other side, and he's going to find the dock immediately.
Are you kidding me? What is this? I mean, it does show how high-level players know exactly what they're up to. He doesn't even show his opponent.
He doesn't even lose the pig, so he doesn't show Sitaux that he knows exactly where it was. I think he was sending that sheep to the very corner so he can methodically start to scout the entire shoreline. It's just very Villese, right? Like, this is kind of like machine learning right here on the scouting for him. It's fantastic job. Sitaux, on the other hand, he has got 1 pig.
Yeah,
and that's
one pig.
And he hasn't scouted any shoreline other than the little pond in the middle and stuff immediately near his dock.
He does have pigs out there. Like, there's pigs that he could bring in, but he hasn't sent villagers to do that. So, for him, it's going to be a little bit more guessing game. But, again, just to highlight that moment again, I thought it was so good how Villese saw the house, knew there would be a dock there. There's never going to be a house on the shoreline for any other reason. And he ran away quickly because if he would have lost that pig, then Sitaux would know that he knows where that dock is.
Dude, look at the way he's like scouting around Sitau's TC. He's like, yeah, it's highly likely the TC is probably right there.
Yep.
Not going to go too close. However, I'm going to send another pig in to confirm that. And he loses the pig forward, and he sees that ibex running around too, where the villager is currently building the house from Sitaux. So Villese knows where the dock is. He knows where the TC is. And he's playing as arguably the better civilization here with Lithuanians. I think Lithuanians can kind of do everything that Malians do, but a little bit better.
Well, I'll be very curious to see how Sitaux chooses to play this, because if you don't have vision on where your opponent's dock is, what are you seeing?
I saw a villager that is half dead to a boar, but of course he's going to save it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just not something I would have expected to be an issue at this point in the game. But yeah, nice save. I was like, oh, there's fighting already? But yeah, that villager's got loom, so she should be okay. But yeah, I mean, with Sitaux not knowing where his opponent's dock is, he might just choose to just blindly go into the second dock and try and win water. And that could be an issue, as we have another villager going to die somewhere and another villager surviving.
Another villager surviving. Nervous moments, right? Nervous moments. I think because they had that pause there too. That's probably what affected Villese luring in his boar. But anyway, Sitaux is 6 fishing ships, one more than Villese because he got the early start with Malians.
Yep.
Both players looking to go up relatively quickly. The only problem is that Sitaux hasn't scouted basically anything, and Villese, he's seen the entire map, dude.
It's insane.
It's crazy. He's 200 points ahead.
Very rare that you can achieve that, especially when you're behind 3 eco at this stage. But, he's on the way up here, Dave, and we'll see how he chooses to play this. He does have 3 villagers on gold, and it seems like he's still thinking water control is going to be important. That surprises me. They're pretty close together on land. I mean, water's never bad, and you do need to be careful just relying on the fish at your starting dock because it will start to run out at this stage. But still a little bit of a surprise to me.
Forward dock from Villese? It looks like it.
I see a dock in the north.
There's a dock in the north, but there's also a villager coming. No, he's going to
maybe just wall it off. Yeah. Just play. I could see Villese walling and then playing macro style with the fish boom.
Yeah. I mean, this is a play that only he can go for, as he lets the pig from Sitaux go right under his TC and then just, yep, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Sitaux knows where Villese is now. Doesn't know where the dock is, but he knows where he is, so he can suspect the dock is over there. Also kind of exploring the shoreline, but not really north of his. He left a lot of it blank with that pig. So questions here for Sitaux. Villese is already formulating a late game strategy because he knows exactly what the map layout looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, though, how Sitaux has realized, all right, my fish probably pretty safe. It's not worth it for me to invest a lot of Navy right now because it's going to take a long time to kill fishing ships. Yep. So let's just go fast castle here. And that's kind of what I thought Villese would do because he had more information. But obviously, Villese will eventually have a payoff. The galleys will eventually find the fish. It's just going to take a couple minutes, Dave. And in a couple minutes, those fishing ships aren't going to be that efficient for Sitaux anyways. Or if he chooses to, he could try and fight back on water. So
I think he's going for a forward. I think he's going to go for a forward here, and I think the walls might kind of deny that a little bit.
Could be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Villese is taking his time.
Here. He is taking his time. Sitaux, if he sends 2 villagers forward, might be able to sneak them past.
Yeah.
And that would be very surprising for Villese if there were to be 2 villagers in his base. But it looks like he'll go for the blacksmith, and he'll see this forward if nothing else.
Interesting. I'm trying to pay close attention to the eco here. So the eco for Sitaux is going to be very food gold heavy. He doesn't actually have that much wood. I guess it is cheaper with Malians,
though. Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's got 10 on wood. He's getting the upgrade. But by the time he gets to Castle Age, should have enough for like a siege workshop. But is he even going that route? It's kind of weird. You think he would have built something already or sent a Vill, and there goes the first Vill.
Yeah, no loom. Obviously, shouldn't really be a conversation. I mean, they're both the same speed. So if Sitaux sees that there's a villager there and he can't sneak by, he could just run home.
Oh, but it's walled? Or is it? Or is it?
Is Villese paying attention to this? Yes, he is.
He is. He is. And he sees no loom.
And now the villager can't actually leave.
Sitaux know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Could actually send another villager to attack that palisade wall if you're Sitaux, but you don't exactly know what's happening. By the way, Sitaux still hasn't lost fishing ships. He's adding fires. Villese's got a micro, but I mean, I really don't know if the water play...
I think Sitaux is going War Galley, and he's going to try and sneak dock here.
Oh, that would be so epic.
The problem is that his opponent knows the plan.
Yeah, and there's a galley coming. Not only is there a galley coming, but the villager is already on half HP here. So Villese should be able to stop this.
Save her. What kind of quick wall is that? That's a gap wall right there. There we go. That's more like it.
He's trying to wall in the villager from Villese. I don't know if this is worth it here if you're Sitaux. You've got to do other things right now. He's repairing on the other side here, Dave. His fishing ship's still alive. Villese still hasn't clicked up to the next age.
Oh,
and Sitaux walls him in. He walls in the villager. Just temporarily. It's a temporary prison. But Villese also does notice now with that galley. There's no way that villager gets a dock up. There should be no way.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing else.
It is, yeah. Also, second
and
TC for Sitaux.
Sends another villager. Can he wall him in again? That's the question.
If he did it once...
Still a boar there for Villese.
He's going to do it again. And villager's still on the move. And as long as this villager avoids the shoreline. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing Sitaux make even a third dock kind of towards the left corner here. That's a nice position for your fish. And yet again, Villese went for galleys, which took so long. And I think just made the incorrect choice there. Now, granted, he does have the wall up. He will be in Castle Age. He is Lithuanians. But a really close game here so far, as Villese has got so much to do on water. But he's doing a good job with the hit and run. He hasn't lost many ships. We've only had 1 kill in this game. And that was Sitaux.
It would honestly be funny if Sitaux had gotten wheelbarrow earlier, so he could run away from this villa and then like live in the back of Villese's mind, you know, that there's a villager in here somewhere. But he's gonna retreat back to his base across that gap. Oh no, he's bringing the fires. Man, he really likes this girl. Like he really likes her.
She's been all over the map, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. And this should lead to a kill as well.
Boom, roasted.
Huh? Okay.
No,
nice micro there from Villese.
He can't engage. Still has
he's going to go back for more, too.
And he's bringing his fires.
Oh, man. Now, Sitaux did squeak by with 1 fire. That could get hit by a demo. Sitaux's actually just passing because... Oh, he almost sniped the demo without taking loss.
Oh, that demo's not very valuable, though. Like, if it gets anywhere near a fire, you can hit it at max range.
But I think what you should do here with that fire is loop into the fish. This is crazy.
Sitaux is still trying to kill that villain. He's even bringing the pig to block the villager, and now he's repairing the fire galley.
Villese is going to repair the demo ship, excuse me, as she still runs away. We are 20 minutes into this game. This villager's been all over, but now there's a new villager for Villese.
Another villager. Yeah,
and Sitaux still not giving up.
He's not giving up. Demo raft was repaired, by the way. As Villese is about to hit Castle Age, Sitaux is ahead in villager count right now because of the second TC, and he gives up on her. No, he doesn't. He should, though.
He should at this point. But it's Sitaux.
Maybe he can...
Nah, not at this angle. Wait.
No, he's bringing another fire.
Wait.
But it's... Oh, dude.
He could just... You got to block with the fire. Yep. Somebody needs to get wheelbarrow here. Big demo shot there for Villese, by the way. So he's still holding on water. But we don't really care about that. We obviously just care about the villagers.
Sitaux.
Block with the fire. Block with the fire. Block with the fire. There you go. There you go.
She's alive.
Look at what Sitaux has done, though. He's got fishing ships still working on the left side. He's got a big mass of fires, and he's not finished yet. He's got a slight eco lead over Villese, and he also added a barrack, so we might see a little bit of a siege spearman push start.
He's bringing in, well, he's brought in 1 relic, too.
Yeah.
He's bringing in another one right now. So
yeah, all this is very good.
I think there's only 4. No, there's 5 relics on this
Should be
map.
5.
See how many you can see. Can see another one to the north, so he should be able to get 3 relics here, if not the 4th one, way up there.
Yeah, I cannot. This villager's on 1 HP just built a dock. I cannot wait to send this wreck to Hardy and give Hardy a week with this, just to see what he can do with this villager's story.
Wow, big engagement here for Sitaux.
Just insane. And no bodkin arrow for Villese.
This is the risk of going War Galley, right?
Yeah.
War Galley versus fires. Like, War Galley is great in numbers. You have to get to those numbers, and then you have to be paying attention. Which is oftentimes the hardest thing.
Especially when you have one stupid villager running all throughout your eco. All a few Lage and Castle Age. But this is an opportunity for a big demo shot. And these choke points get really dangerous for the fires. And the perfect demo. And Sitaux is more distracted on land right now, as he actually is going to try and get redemption just to convert these houses. But he backs away. But I feel like at this point, if you're transitioning into farms, which Sitaux has not done actually, but if you're transitioning into farms, you don't need the fish as much as you would have in the early game. Obviously, water still will be important for control.
I think Villese might need redemption here soon, too. Because Sitaux is hard committing to this monk push. And that usually indicates siege. He's still contesting water, and both players still have their fish alive, so that's great. Also, once Sitaux gets through here, there's a risk of him getting a forward dock again in that corner.
Yep.
To come make fires over there and harass the fish. So Villese has to be wary of that. He's 3 on stone right now for Villese. A castle could theoretically stop this push, but he's very long way away from that. And it feels like he needs redemption.
Yep. Also, villager died, by the way. That 1 HP villager. She put up a real fight in this game. And Sitaux researched atonement. So he went redemption to convert siege. He went atonement, and he's going to push. He's going to come forward with his own siege here, Sitaux. Nice little eco lead. He had control, or gave up control on water, but pushed right back. Should still be able to defend his fish pretty easily. And then we have atonement as well from Villese, and he will now know that Sitaux has it. That's crazy.
Love it.
And this is a really good Nomad game. Like, both of these guys are amazing at Nomad. Like, we haven't really been able to criticize too many of their decisions. The KD is really close.
Oh, Villese snagged that relic north of Sitaux's base. So he's going to have 3.
Ooh, that's important with Lithuanians if Cav ever comes out. You know, normally you don't see Atonement before Redemption here. So I'm really curious to see how this goes, because the siege for Sitaux would actually be very effective here as the monks try and convert each other.
Who gets the good RNG? Who gets the good RNG? Who gets the good RNG? Okay.
They both
equals
kind of
out,
do.
But there's a TC to kill the monk.
And there's also a market that
Villese
could be
deletes
converted
the other
here. Like, you kind of need that market in these messy games, don't you?
And Villese doesn't want to go anywhere near that monk with his own monks either, because then he might just get converted instantly by a charged up conversion.
I really
think
like
a ram here would be really nice from Sitaux, and that's exactly what he's doing. Fantastic.
Yeah, I really like the ram. I really like as well how he's double stable, so he's going to go scouts. But what I don't like is how he's 0 farms. Like, he's got 10 on food right now. He's really got to mix in some farming eco.
Well, he's getting horse collar right now, and
So
he's
probably
adding the farms.
Yeah.
And he's on berries right now too with a lot of villagers, so this might actually be a decent transition from him. Remember, he's making things very messy for Villese right now.
And he converts a
very,
monk,
very
Dave.
messy.
Yeah, also the relics are in there, by the way, so that's something to pay attention to. Yeah,
Rams
making it
so
messy,
tough to
making
stop
it
if
awkward.
You only have monk defense. Ram was such a good addition here, but there's not that many monks here for Sitaux. He does get a conversion, monk with full faith, converting another monk that is being converted by a monk that was converted before by another monk.
I think it's still even. There's a militia that joins the party. So militia for the ram. Okay. The monk just drops off the relics there in the monastery. There's 3 relics there. There's a lot of stone income, though. And the scouts are going to pick off 1 monk there. And now Sitaux has something else to worry about. This is great. Great work here for Sitaux on Villese. And this would be the time to send the villagers for the castle if you're going to do it.
Yeah, and a castle forward would be great. Villese can buy his own castle. If he really wants to, he could sell his food, sell his wood, and buy the stone. And we might see a castle showdown, but unfortunately for Villese, there's nowhere to place it.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to have to delete your farms and put it way far back. And Sitaux is going for a hyper-aggressive castle.
Right on the monasteries with the relics too, Dave. Like, if this castle goes up, those relics belong to Sitaux. He'll have all 5 relics. And he has added the farms, like we said, so he's mixing in his eco. He's still fighting and controlling on water, though. That is, you know, still some potential for Villese. And Villese hasn't dropped his own castle yet. It feels inevitable that Sitaux will get his down. He's got more monks. But, oh, wait, that might change, actually. That might change. Villese is getting some good conversions. There's not many scouts here.
Scouts are clearing up the monks that were converted previously. They're being healed up by their friends from behind, though, and it's only 3 monks now for
That's a
Sitaux,
lot of monks.
though he does convert 2 monks. 3 monks now underneath the TC from Villese. He converts another one. It's just standing there. It's just too much micro to get away with. He did get light cav.
Yeah.
And the castle goes up. It ranges 2 TCs, and the ram is working away on that relic monastery. And here come the Gebettos as well. Monk death.
Look how many
underneath that castle.
Look how many monks were in that TC. Like, Villese kept garrisoning his town center, trying to shoot the scouts, but they were half filled with monks. But yeah, I mean, the TCs will go down. The monasteries will go down. Obviously, there's still a lot of monks for Villese, but can you win the game with just monks?
I think it's really important here for Sitaux to send 1 villager and wall that little marsh terrain at the top.
I agree.
Just
That's your
keep
weakness
him
right now.
penned in here.
Yep.
Yeah, keep him penned in. Make sure you keep your fish alive as well, and just have something on water so that Villese has to be concerned about that. But don't let him get over to your side, and that looks like that's exactly what Villese is trying to do.
If Villese, I mean, the early farming eco for him, combined with some of the fishing ships, he had added more, Dave. That's something we didn't point out. He's been at 11. So he's actually going to be able to click up to Imp, and he has a castle behind this, which means if he can hold, he could maybe treb this back.
That's wild. His economy is this good.
Yeah,
Under
crazy.
This much pressure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Sitaux's going to add more stables. It feels like an all-in castle age for Sitaux, but will he realize that that left side is so important here? Like a couple outposts over there, Dave, would allow him to control that area as well. He is going to grab the relics, but there goes Villese on the way to Imp. 90 eco for both players. That's just crazy to me. that he's able to do this.
More stables here from Sitaux. He's going to try and win this with just momentum from this push. I feel like you got to settle things down. Maybe even go for a dock on the shoreline from Villese to get some fires behind. Just clear up the fish because he's still contesting the water at the top.
True. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that castle from Sitaux in the middle. That tells me that he kind of realizes that Villese might already be over in the north side of his base, and he's just going to try and get himself a secure area in the north of his base and a place where he could potentially dock in the center.
Most underrated building in the game is probably still the outpost. I know it's used a lot more these days, but how important would an outpost have been on the left side for Sitaux? He's had stables. He just built a castle, right? He could have...
Oh, the 1 HP villager
castle dropped
saw it, dude. The 1 HP Vill, or 2 HP now. She saw it.
Oh, that's true.
Dude, MVP, this woman.
Well,
MVP
that's the other...
the entire game.
No. She died earlier. The one you're thinking of died earlier. But, you know, it's maybe her, like, second cousin or something.
Daughter or something.
Yeah.
Light Caver coming in. Villese didn't really have the greatest monk micro there, and he loses a lot of monks because of it. Well, 2 of them.
I mean, there's no armor on these Light Cav, right? Like, Sitau's going to run back here and be like, how does he have this much eco? Like, I just killed 2 of his town centers. What is this? Probably be very disappointed that he's going to see his opponent in Imp as well. And this is absolutely a close game. And even though Sitaux has the relics, I think you can make an argument that Villese actually has the lead. This is crazy.
I don't know about that castle from Sitaux.
You cancel it now.
Villese's base. I feel like you put that on the 2 TCs up north here. If you see them, once you see them with the Light Cav, you're going to see a farm, right? You're going to know that this TC is here. You can put a castle right in between those 2 and kind of stall out the expansion from Sitaux, but he puts another castle further back.
Yeah, I mean, he's maybe thinking he just has to hold this position. I like moving it back. By the way, 2 HP villager with shorefish now running near that ram underneath Villese's castle. I don't know where she's going. She was probably clicked to the other side, to be honest.
She's going to the underworld. She's surviving!
Let's go!
Bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Treb!
Oh, the Treb got in the way. Oh my god!
Nice!
Oh my god!
Treb, bro!
Oh my god! Don't tell me he's gonna lose this!
Get out of the way! Move! Move!
Monks, are you kidding me? Okay, well, I mean, that's buying Sitaux some precious time. Meanwhile, there's a Light Cav underneath his TC. He's got to react to that, and he's got to hit those other TCs on that other side, Dave. Like, those 2 town centers should have never been up in the first place. We've now got some latest from Villese coming over. And just stressful times for Sitaux as he has to defend those castles, but he also has to defend his own eco. Good quick walling, though, to stall this out, and maybe the latest will end up dying to the town center fire.
He did kill a bunch of fish from Villese, and he's got a dock now on his side. So fish aren't really part of the equation anymore.
Yeah.
However, Villese does have 103 villagers with 13 Qs.
And 45 on food.
And now he's going for that castle there. And Sitaux, it feels like this might be another Nomad game that he's just letting slip with his transition.
Yeah, it does feel very similar to the game against the Viper. Got ahead, and then, you know, just didn't have the eco to back it up. I had 45 on food, though, for Villese. It's just a crazy thing to see right now. The fact he's got his wood, his farm upgrade, wheelbarrow, probably handcart on the way. We have 2 rams now for Sitaux. Is he really going to try and ram those trebs? I don't think that is going to work.
The houses were a nice touch from Villese because he knew that was a possibility.
Yeah. Okay. You got
Gabetto
Spearmen, Gabetto, and Monks.
Gabetto will be good against those trebs from that distance, and the monks are going to back this up, and he might actually take out these trebs with the
No
rams
way,
if
dude.
Villese isn't careful.
Well, Villese is converting all of his monks.
Oh, no! He's converting all of them, dude!
He did lose a treb there, Villese, but I think he'll be happy that he can continue this push. If he loses this treb, though, this could be super annoying for him.
It barely survives! The treb barely survives.
I'm looking at the army count. There's not much of one for Sitaux. He's got bombard cannons on the way. He's making more monks. He's 10 monks with 3 more on the way at the moment. Still defending this area. Still not pressuring the other side, right? It feels like the other side is still so important. He's dropping barracks in his base, so he's going to think pikemen, Dave. But Malians don't get halberdier. I think if you're going just pikemen, that's a sign that you need to win this game fast.
We're approaching a very difficult position here for Malians, which is late game against Lithuanians.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad with heavy camel and Gabetto and champion and all that, but with the way this game is progressed, it's going to be awkward. So he's just trying to hold this. And the Bomber Cannon can help take out that Treb.
Yeah, he should be able to take out that Treb and save that castle.
Unless it gets converted.
Far enough forward to convert the Bomber Cannon yet. It's being targeted now. The Gebetto gets converted, and it'll be reconverted at 2 HP. Not really worth it, maybe.
Dude, what a grindy, messy game. By the way, Sitaux's got a Bomber Cannon on the left we should look at because it's hitting a random Treb, but both players distracted. Now the monks are trying to convert the Bomber Cannon, but Sitaux's going to try and convert those monks. And Sitaux's micro with the Bomber Cannons and the monks. Incredible.
Yeah, and he takes out the Treb on the left, and now he's got 2 Bomber Cannons ready to attack that castle. Needs some support, though. Monks need to come forward on the left. He's got to be paying attention. Sitaux has the right comp to do this. It's just extremely difficult to manage the micro, and he takes out the Treb finally. I wonder how many resources were sunk into that for Villese. And now we're looking at Villese's eco, and we're saying, yeah, it's great he has all this food, but how much gold access does he realistically have without relics? He's got 6 tiles of gold left, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's underneath a castle that is currently being Bomber Cannon down. He might not even complete the conscription upgrade. And I like what Sitaux's doing. He's got some pikemen. Like, pikemen, you don't have to micro as much. You just kind of have them there as a buffer. He's going to need pikemen on the other side, but he's pushing both sides at the same time, and Villese just can't keep up with this pressure. Sitaux so patient.
Treb. He saved the castle, the first one that he put, and that was such a great move. And now he's going for another one on the left side. Latest are going to come out here from Villese, and he's just hoping Sitaux's not paying attention, but he is.
He is paying attention, and
one latest,
that could be all 3. It should be all 3. It is all 3.
Kenny gets all 3.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sick.
And you know, on the other side, he did need to fall back here a little bit, but obviously Villese was distracted, and now we've got pikemen arriving. And now I think Sitaux can take this game. He's got Trebs and Bomber Cannons on both sides.
Yeah.
Non-stop pressure from him. Sick.
And we look at the gold for Villese. It's just not there, right? Sitaux is just floating in gold right now. Between 5 relics and Malian's longer lasting gold, which means that he can survive for a very long time. And the gold piles he hasn't even taken. He's got plenty of opportunity. Here come the light cav. They're going to try and snipe the monks first and then work on the Bomber Cannons. But there's 2 castles behind this. There's also pikemen there. He might take out a bunch of monks, but it feels unlikely he's going to get all of those Bomber Cannons, and he ends up just getting 1.
It's crazy to me how Sitaux's been able to micro both sides, though. It's just so impressive. That's the first time where he's really lost a lot of monks this game. But, you know, Villese is finally breaking a little bit on the left side.
Bruh.
Well, to be honest, yeah, he's behind in a lot of upgrades, right? He's only has feudal age upgrades. He doesn't have fletching, actually. So, I mean, I think ballistics would also be hugely beneficial here for your castle fire. But it's just the micro. And I mean, the micro has put him in this position. The micro could keep him in this position.
Villese is badly housed. He lost that castle. He's super housed. No production for him in the foreseeable future.
And he calls it.
He calls the GG. Like, we were asking about Sitaux. He probably shouldn't have let Villese get onto that north side of his own area.
Yep.
Right? And he probably should have sorted out his eco earlier. But what a great recovery. You said it, like, microing on both sides with his unit composition is so difficult. And he did it perfectly.
Yeah, it was
amazing
a great game.
Play.
Also, I thought it was going to be easier for Villese to have the recognition that says, okay, my opponent's fish is far away here. Let's not prioritize water. Let's maybe prioritize land and a fast castle. And it was Sitaux who ended up doing that. So if I were to be critical of one thing of Villese's play, is simply how he opened. Because it took so long for that to pay off, I think it would have made more sense to do what Sitaux had done. Sitaux got onto the second town center and then get onto the monks and the siege and just started that snowball faster. But yeah, David, it very much felt like a game that it was Sitaux's to lose. And had he just stonewalled that crossing a long time ago, I think his game would have been done and dusted because Villese would have had nowhere to go.
Stonewalled, outposts, something like that. You prevent any of that from happening. Yep. Also, like, getting your farms up a little bit faster is probably good, right? So, but it's difficult. But Sitaux put on the pressure, and Villese, well, he was never able really to get out of this area and into Sitaux's economy, and never able to win the water. It was a good contest from Sitaux.
Yeah, Sitaux timed it perfectly. The fact that he was able to boom and also compete on water was pretty impressive. And remember that one villager running around the map as well, like made it difficult for Villese to think about what to do, possibly. But, man, look at the army high. 66 in that game for Sitaux. He created 189 military units. For Villese, he ends the game with 27, only 130 military. And he probably produced a little bit more on water as well this game. I mean, this doesn't need to be stated because I'm sure everyone watching this already knows the players and knows this. But I will say it anyways. These guys are freaking good.
Yep.
Like, that was a classic Nomad game. I love to see that. And, you know, the things we could talk about, Dave, we are biased because we kind of envisioned that map script that we just looked at. But, like, there were so many different things that were possible in that game. It wasn't just go out and win water. It was land transitions, crossings that could have been walled up, areas to expand. It was a good Nomad game. I'm happy with it.
Yep. Yeah, it was really nice.
And, yeah, here we are, ladies and gents. This is game number 2. Game number 2, Vilese's home map. Definitely feels like he's going to want to respond here and get a victory because Sitaux is playing really good Age of Empires 2 right now. Bohemians versus Turks on Arena. 1,800 HP walls, so forget about any feudal shenanigans. You had said the Turks can kind of be seen as like the Bohemians killer. Talk me through what you're thinking on that.
I think the win condition here for Turks is to control the middle of the map and then get a similar uptime to Bohemians.
Yeah.
If you hold Bohemians into their base, I think you're fine as Turks. You don't have to worry about Hufnitsa as much because you have more range and there's not much room to maneuver. However, if the Bohemians have control of the middle of the map or are contesting the middle when they get to Imperial Age, then things become an issue for Turks. The game starts to open up a little bit, right? Their halbs can spread out. You get Hufnitsa pushing from different areas. That's why I really loved, I think it might have been Warlords that Nikov went hand cannons against a Turk opponent with Bohemians just to take, like Castle Age hand cannons, just to take control of the middle of the map. And he was later to Imperial Age, but he set up like 4 castles across the middle behind it. And the Turks player could never really push out.
Sorry, just giggling because Sitaux accidentally placed a house instead of a lumber camp on the wood line.
I saw that, yeah.
You don't see that every day, so that got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, I agree with you. And like map control becomes so important in any Civ matchup. And that's why another reason why Turks are so good, because they get light cav for free. That's one of the most common openings on Arena. Getting that light cav upgrade allows you to compete for the middle. And like, I know there are crazy things you can see on Arena. We see our castle drops. We see our unique unit play from time to time. But I don't think Bohemians really have anything that screams map control to me in the Castle Age here. They do have spearmen that do additional bonus damage against cavalry, which
but you can never catch the cavalry.
Yeah, you would think, like, okay, let's make spearmen, but then monks are just going to convert your spearmen, and these players are too good, and the cavalry can just run away, like you said. So I'm really curious to see how Villese approaches it, because you don't want to give up full map control. You don't want to give up the relics, but Turks, in my opinion, have an easier contest.
Yeah, and I've watched, it's like, I hear all the arguments people make about Bohemians just being strong and they can boom up even if the Turks have good map control or whatever. Hufnitsa Halb is so strong. But I've seen this Civ matchup probably 100 times in the last 6 months. And if the Turks have map control, getting to Imperial Age, they usually win, like 90% of the time. If the Bohemians have map control, then they're in a much, much better position going into Imp. Like I said, you were saying there was limited options for them. The only option I've really seen is heavy into spearman production for Bohemians with light cav as well against the Turkish light cav, or the hand cannon approach that I saw once from Nikov.
Yeah, and then there's always the question of, is your eco going to even be good enough to get the Hufnitsa upgrade, right?
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I should mention, and this is all so relevant, I've been trying to find ways to incorporate this into videos too, because people are like really curious about drafts now, which maybe 2 years ago, people were like, I don't really care, just show me the game. But draft-wise, Villese picked Poles and then Bohemians. So his first picks were dedicated to closed maps, you'd think. And then Sitaux, he drafted Turks, I think 4th out of the 5 civs you can pick. So if Sitaux wins this, he's winning up against an earlier pick as well. So like I'm really liking how this feels for Sitaux. It's not your home map. It's one of your weaker picks. You're probably saving a good civilization for the 3rd game. We'll see how he plays it. I think it's pretty predictable how he will play it. I think he'll go into the scouts. It's more so Villese will see what he chooses to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Relics seem to be a little closer to Sitaux. He's got 3 very close, actually.
Yeah, he should definitely get at least 2.
Yeah.
Even if Villese contests this heavily, I think he should be expected to get 3. And then the one on the far left, probably not going to get that one. The one closer to Villese's base, oddly enough, that's less likely for Sitaux to get than the one on the left, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so
or
there's
more likely, sorry.
There's a lot of reason to take map control, even just for the extra stones and golds too. Like, both players have their additional stone and gold right outside their walls in the same area towards the left. And then there's both neutral golds over there with the neutral stones. You're talking about endless amounts of resources. If you've got like a forward castle and you just dump a bunch of villagers on gold with both of these civs, because they both have like the mining bonuses, could be pretty crazy for aggressive plays.
23 pop up from Sitaux. He's
Whoa.
got 2 farms. Probably going to be going for a really, really tight build into Light Cav. Like I said, you don't have to get the Light Cav upgrade, so it'll probably work. Lumber Camp, like you said, it was a house initially, but it's a thing of beauty over there. It's just super efficient. It's going to be lasting him a very long time.
I don't think Light Cav is
one.
actually a possibility with Sitau's build, though. Like, 23 pop, you would need a barracks, you would need a stable and a blacksmith or a market. I think he's just going to go blacksmith market and boom, which in my mind, and in I guess maybe our minds, it might be assuming too much, but we just talked about it. I feel like that's not the way you'd want to play with Turks. I guess the starting scout becomes a Light Cav, and it is Sitaux, so we could get really good value from it and not have to produce more of them.
Can he go blacksmith? Do you think he can go blacksmith market and then monastery first and then add the barracks stable later?
No.
Just to get a fast uptime?
Like, you can, but I think it kind of undoes all your work to be fast in the first place because you're just delaying the town centers. I think if you do it this way, your economy's a bit more stretched, and the only way that's worth it is if you're getting the early relics or dropping the TC. But yeah, I've seen crazier things before. On the other side, we're just having the blacksmith and the market as well.
Now?
Oh, okay. So this makes more sense than he wants to go for a castle.
Yep.
But I mean, he's not going to have the castle right away. That's the thing. Like, unlike the 23 population build we've been talking about with Portuguese, you're not going to have the castle right away, and your unique unit your unique unit here costs food and it costs gold, so you need to have good economy too.
He's gonna have 10 on stone, and he'll have it 12 on stone. He'll have it pretty quick, bro.
I actually think, as I see these villagers getting stuck, that it would be worth it to have 3 or 4 villagers fewer on stone, because they're just going to be bumping into each other most of the time. He really has to micro those.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, Villese should know, like, an uptime faster than Blacksmith Market Boom normally means it's going to be, like, unique unit play or all-in play.
Yeah.
And he's adding the barracks, so...
There's the Blacksmith Market barracks, yeah. How is he ever going to stop this forward castle? Look at Sitaux. He's already coming forward with 7.
Whoa.
And he's going to have enough stone. Dude, what a build this is. This is just an all-in type of build. Oh my God, Sitaux is not messing around here, folks. Villese is going to see these villagers, but what can he do about it? They have Loom.
Yeah.
They already have Loom. This is going to be a Light Cav soon, so that scout from Villese, like, not really much of a defense.
I am all for more castle drops at a high level on Arena. Like, it feels like the meta is shifting back. We used to see it more frequently. Now, you've got to wall in these builds of your Sitaux after you drop this. There he goes. He knew he was going to be blocked off a little bit, but he should be completely fine. Like, the spearman shouldn't really threaten, nor should the scout, but he doesn't know. Like, his opponent could send something more out here. Yeah. But now he's got to get the villagers off of stone and over to gold, because he needs gold income. He has 2 on food. He's got 2 farmers on food. Dude, his economy is so bad, but he got the castle up.
I don't love this castle, though. Like, I feel like over near that relic would have been better, right beside that gold. Probably would have been better for Sitaux, but the thing is, he doesn't know that was there because he wanted to save his scout the entire beginning of the game, so he had it chilling in his base because he wanted a full HP Light Cap to help him place this castle. So he doesn't know that gold is over there. He missed it by a tile.
Here's the thing. Now, this might be too aggressive of me, but you should know it's there. Every single arena map script, you have 1 stone and 1 gold outside the walls. He had scouted the right, so he should have known there would be a gold on the left. But now he's probably going to be selling a lot of things. He is going to make Janissary. He is going to make monks. But, you know, his eco, man, like his food eco is just so bad.
Welcome to the circus, folks. He's got 26 vills and he's not making any more.
Yeah, what do you do if you're Villese? I mean, it's not so good that your second gold is actually right beyond these walls and that Sitaux can range that.
There will be another castle following shortly, too.
Yeah, you would think so.
And if you're Villese, you know that. You see the mining camp on the stone forward.
Yeah, I mean, it also could... Honestly, the eco's so bad for Sitaux, he might just sell stone and buy food. Yeah, he's just done it now. Like, his food eco is so horrible. He's just pulled villagers off of wood that used to be stone miners, and now they're going back over to berries. Like, villagers have had multiple jobs in this game.
Villese has done a great job here not retasking this monk. So he was first charging it up against the leg cap, but he doesn't notice. This coming in. He does get the Janissary. He just charged in there.
That's super annoying. Oh, whoa, what was that shot? That shot was like 6 tiles off there from that Janissary.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you miss.
All right, well, Janissary, leg cap. I mean, it should kill this, but it's good for Villese to buy time. The idle TC time is pretty high for Sitaux here. Yeah, obviously he's going to one army control.
Gathering relics too with this one monk that he can only afford.
Yep, true.
Like he should have been gathering the relics here. Don't screw around with this monk. Just bring in the relics. You need all the gold you can get.
And he clearly wants to save the stone, and he converts that back. He's going to kill the monk. Very nice job
beautiful.
There. Nice recovery.
That works. Now start grabbing the relics. You need all the help for your eco that you can get, dude. This is like a stimulus plan, you know?
This is so bad. Another mining camp on gold now. I mean, I'm actually surprised he's been able to get to 5 farms. I think the next castle from him... Well, you tell me. Do you think he should build the castle in front of the market and the blacksmith? Or do you think he should build the castle to the left?
Right where those 2 houses there in front of the barracks.
Okay. Nice conversion there from Villese. Doing everything he can. Now, Villese is building up towards the castle. So what he's going to want to do here with the eco lead is the second he sees a castle from Sitaux, he just needs a castle in his walls on the other side. And then he has to use the food eco to go Imperial Age to push it back. Let's see if he buys
we need relics, dude. Sitaux, we need relics, bro.
Okay, there's the castle. Busy. Yeah, this is where you just buy the stone and you drop your own castle if you're Villese. I say it like it's easy. He doesn't quite have the resources to be able to make that happen yet. He's trying to be at 9 range against Janissaries with 8 range. Crazy to micro that. The problem with fast MP for Sitaux is that, again, his unit that he's been making costs food. He's got 5 farms. He's pulling villagers off of wood to make farms. He's got 2 on wood now. This eco is crazy.
What does he need wood for, dude? He's already got his castle H buildings. He doesn't need it.
Listen,
he's got a castle.
It can work with Turks, man. Like if you could just buy the food.
He's gonna be buying his food, yeah. And look at his resources now. And now you're thinking, well, with multiple relics, with 18 on gold, he can go up to imp fairly quickly.
I actually think it's very worth it here if you're Sitaux to just full idle and not create another Vill until you
or Janissary.
Yeah.
God forbid Janissaries. Like you got 4, that's enough.
Yeah. This is really good. I mean, it's still he's going to be so far behind in villagers, but I think this is his win condition.
Oh,
and now he's losing villagers.
Here. Oh no, he just lost 3. No.
And he's giving stone too. Villese needs the stone. Donated stone to the guy who needs a castle. Oh, those vills will be able to drop off that stone.
The 6 villager swing when you convert 3 vills from your opponent's economy, and Villese, to his credit, just sends them back. He's gonna go for a castle deep in his base. Sitaux is gonna be up first, though.
I'm not in love with that castle spot. I would have preferred it. It's like he's trying to hide it. I would have preferred it right in front of the monastery or to the right of the town center.
And Villese is now up. I think Trebs are the play here for Sitaux. A siege workshop for bombard cannons. Too expensive.
Dave, watch him send vills off of gold and go to wood right now. He's going to be like, crap, I have no wood for Trebs. I need a siege workshop for bombard cannons.
Just buy the wood, bro. There. Oh, he sends all his farmers.
There he goes. There he goes.
There we go.
Dude, that one lumber camp has gotten so much use this game. Let's look at resources collected here. Resources collected. 14,000 versus 10,000.
I like the fact that Villese is already adding a second market in the back.
Yeah, it's
true. Like, yeah, I'm gonna need this.
He really needs chemistry, though.
Real bad.
Like, I think getting chemistry right now would be... Oh, he is getting it. Okay, I'm stupid and blind. Yeah, so this is perfect. So he can make bombard cannons immediately, which is something that usually only the Turks can do with instant chemistry, but well played from Villese against his pressure.
I really think that Trebs are necessary here rather than bombard cannons immediately for Sitaux.
Yeah.
Bombard cannons can be converted by the monks if Villese goes for redemption. We know he already has monks here. And Trebs have the additional range, which allow you to pick things off underneath your castles.
But it's worth mentioning, if it's not already obvious, that this is it for Sitaux. There's no tech switching, all right? So don't get any thoughts of why isn't Sitaux adding light cap? Why is Sitaux doing this?
Heavy cav archer, why didn't he go
that
route?
His approach, he's committed here. There's no switching now. It has to be Trebs and bombard cannons, and he knows it as he's buying wood. And also Villese knows it too. He's got redemption already on these monks, so he's ready to convert some siege. All right, here we go.
Bombard cannons are no. And there's 2 Trebs, 1 bombard cannon from Sitaux. As Villese gets to Imperial Age, Villese still has a decent amount of gold left. The Hussar is now exploring a little bit for Sitaux just to check things out, and he sees all of the monks, block printing in, redemption already in.
You remember that time where I said I didn't like Villese's castle? I love it now. Like, he thought about the fact that there would be Trebs, and he didn't want to have those trebuchets be behind Sitaux's castles. So this has actually made Sitaux have to move forward here. And can Sitaux comfortably do that? You could tell he's really scared about this right now, but the clock is ticking. You've got to push now, Sitaux. It's only going to get worse for you economically.
Fletching, though.
Woo, that's expensive.
This is why I didn't think bombard cannons were a good idea. This is what happens.
Oh, man. Bombard cannon gets converted. So good from Villese, no. Like, he thought ahead with all of this. Got his chemistry timing, got his monk upgrades, getting more now. Has his own bombard cannon. Sitaux can't convert bombard cannons. He doesn't have monks. If he loses these Trebs, we're very close to seeing that GG. There are some Janissaries. They need to kill those monks here, or the bombard cannon. Either or. And it looks like the bombard cannon's actually going to survive. No. It does go down. The Treb's still going, though, for Villese and getting repairs. Just still doesn't seem like Sitaux has enough behind his push, and the bombard cannons just can't move out, Dave.
Yep. Monks are being hit a couple times. Now switching conversions to the Janissaries. He gets one of them. The castle will not remain up. The castle's going down, and that might be just the GG moment right there for Sitaux.
Yeah, Sitaux with this crazy aggression here. Good imp timing, we have to say that, but behind by 40 villagers now. 5 relics is not enough to account for all of that, and he's a couple monk conversions away from losing all of his bombard cannons. Villese has actually been fairly unlucky here, I think, not to get 1 or 2 more. And he's got to make more monks, but he's microing where he can, and
he's gonna
still
get
microing.
Before the monk dies, he didn't, but the monk survives. And not that one. That one's dead. Sitaux continues to micro. He's not giving up. He's got 5 bomber cannons in a dream.
More monks are obviously going to be coming out here, so Villese's just got to be patient, just got to hold, and just wait for his opportunity to convert these things. I mean, that's a lot of bombard cannons.
That's the handcart TC. How badly would Sitaux love eco upgrades right now? Handcart comes in. It doesn't get denied.
Yeah.
Or does it?
It's in.
No, it's in.
All right. Well, 5 bomber cannons in a dream. Oh!
Wait, we're replaying that. I'm going back. Wait, that is the TSN turning point right there. Oh my Lanta. Okay, I'm replaying it at half speed. Here we go. Boom, boom.
Jeez, dude.
Oh my God.
He must have been looking at his economy, right? Must have been looking at that eco. He actually, what's funny, as I say that, I think he did look at his eco because you've got 2 villagers wandering back to farms. So he was shifting more villagers back to a different job. But what a great game. What a photo finish. I guess photo finish because that's a important moment, but not actually the definition of photo finish. But anyways, crazy game. I have to say, though, even though it was entertaining, Dave, I could not disagree more with how Sitaux played this. You have relics right next to your base. You play light cav. Yeah, just play meta and you're fine.
Maybe he feels like that's not his strength. Like, he has to go for the 1 TC type of pressure because he doesn't want to get late game against Villese. But, like, I don't know, man. Just light cav, 3 TC, maybe add a 4th.
Yeah.
A little bit later, go up to Imperial Age at a relatively similar time to Villese, and you still control the middle with your light cav if you produce enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get your bomber cannons forward and you keep him in his base.
Yeah, I agree. I think it must just be the fact
weird.
that he knows Villese is so good at that arena meta with the eco.
Yeah.
And he probably just lacked confidence there. But yeah, as far as the Civ matchup goes, we've seen it so many times. Like, Turks can compete. Turks can dominate the middle with the light cav and have really good economy as well. But that is the second time we've seen Sitaux now play on a more closed map and go for some wacky, crazy aggression. Remember, against Viper on Fortified Clearing, he went for a feudal forward. And now here he's gone for the crazy YOLO castle. From an entertainment standpoint, obviously loved it. It was a good game. Important for Villese to respond in the series. And Game 3 will then be on the final map, Acropolis. Again, $40 per victory here, but all the more important, these players are fighting for position in a really competitive group. So whoever gets this next win, going to be feeling very good about themselves. Here we are. Game number 3. And Sitau's gone for Chinese here, Dave. A civilization that he had gone for against the Viper. And he played amazing with Chinese against Viper.
And in the game against Viper, Viper had a back wood line completely secure. Sitaux has one as well, although it's not too much. It's only 2,800 wood on that wood line at the very back of his base. So not as much as Viper had. Villese also with some decent wood lines near his hill, but they're pretty close to each other, honestly, as far as the Acropolis goes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think expanding away from the opponent's going to be nice. Like Villese going more towards the north or the south. And then, Sitaux, I think, particularly towards the south, there's a lot of safe areas there. But that's the talking point on Acropolis is, do you want to leave this hill? If you leave that hill, how do you defend yourself? And again, an important reminder for those that haven't seen the previous Acropolis game, the main tweak that we made with this version of Acropolis is that it doesn't connect to the edge of the map. So the sloped rock terrain cannot be walled on, which allows for a lot of army production here, and it making it very difficult to keep yourself safe. So, with all that said, when I think polls, I think they're really good if you can wall up and play safe. So I think I prefer Chinese here.
Also, polls, where are you going to find the space for full work farming?
Yeah.
Like, there. I see a space for 1, 2, 3, maybe near his TC. But other than that, like, there's wood lines all over the place, interrupting your full works. If you get them down in the middle, they're probably going to be harassed. It's just question marks on whether Villese will have the opportunity to go for those full works. Is he going to opt to go for something a little bit more aggressive with maybe like a tower forward, men-at-arms tower forward or something like that with poles?
Yeah, I could see it, right? Like, then you can justify going to stone, getting some gold from it. Also, you could place a really satisfying mining camp between the stone and the gold.
The wood line to the back of his base, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's way worse than the one Viper had, right? Like, you can get one lumber camp there, but then it's going to run out at a time where you're busy, and then where do you send them? Like, might be kind of annoying. We are trying to fix that, by the way. It's just like a really common thing with the way Acropolis is spawned.
This deer for Villese is so annoying. It keeps butting up against the edge of the map at the very back. Oh, and it's going back again. Okay, reset to a good spot.
Well,
he should be fine.
He should be okay. It is kind of funny, though, to see the boar and the deer at the bottom of that hill there.
Yep.
It feels like if you slip and fall, you're just going to, like, slide down the mountain and off the edge of the map.
There's the first full work for Villese, and it's like you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4 farms?
Yeah, you could do 4, I think. Because even if the corner's touching, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice, but does that compete with all your farms having more food if you're the Chinese? Does that compete with Chinese having more villagers and arguably better options? And what Sitaux had done is he used those options, but he used the eco, man. Like, he had crazy eco, and he was just spamming Cavalier and Camels into Viper's base.
Even in Castle Age, he was just spamming light cav and knights and picking off villagers, and he was losing his military, but Viper could never leave. Yep. So Sitaux behind that, if you guys didn't see that first game, you should go back and watch it, by the way, or the game against Viper, because it was a really good one. behind that, he was just getting like he constantly had technologies coming in. So utilizing the cheaper Chinese techs, utilizing the eco advantage that he had, and just throwing military to die, but they're killing villagers at the same time. And meanwhile, he's booming up.
I have to say, I think, and Sitaux would probably be like, that's not the case, but I think Sitaux being in gold and having to earn his way into platinum was
probably good for him.
Was good for him as far as motivation's concerned, right? Like, he's come in here firing on all cylinders. All his Civ picks have looked good. I mean, the previous game was a little crazy. I think he could have more confidence in his meta, but he has looked so good, and I think that he's ready to show people, like, this is why I deserve to be in that conversation. He's confident, too. Like, there, he's going to place a gate, for some shenanigans to force the scout from Villese into his TC. And he knows the scout's there, and he's thinking, odds are I'm actually going to be up to the next stage faster than this guy. So he's going to chase that scout.
It is Men-at-Arm tower forward. I was wondering why you would go pulse here.
Okay. I at least like it from the thought process that it's taking use or making use of the pulse bonuses. I also like how Villese is not showing him this. He's running the other way.
Deliberately pulled him away.
Yeah.
Deliberately pulled him away with the scout, and now he's deliberately pulling him to that. He's going to show him the militia, but I don't think Sitaux saw the... Okay, he saw the Vils. Oh, no.
So range opening for Sitaux. This is an adapted build. Notice how much food he has. He definitely wanted to go scouts, and wood could be complicated for him if a tower ends up going up here. Let's see how Sitaux handles this. Interesting little build order here for Villese. And there's the tower.
There's the tower. Sitaux still doesn't see the wood line at the back of his base, and he doesn't see any other wood options on the outside. So he goes for a tower of his own. Very difficult to wall this off here with that stone terrain there and that hill.
Oh, man.
We'll get the tower up, though, and the archer is coming out, but still no fletching yet. He's got a villager on the tower from Villese. He's got 4 villagers over there. Might be able to deal with these men-at-arms. Might be able to wall them in there somehow. No, the men-at-arms come back. And now his villagers are pretty exposed against the tower from Villese. But it looks like he's going to be able to take this down.
Important thing to mention. They're not actually man-at-arms. I'm sure he wanted to go for man-at-arms, but he doesn't have the gold. He doesn't have the food. And Sitaux pushes that away. He's killed his opponent's scout. He's now has a tower to defend his wood line. And he has ranged units. And Villese, just not a good build order, Dave. Like, not good at all. You've got to get man-at-arms there at the very least. And then I think if you have man-at-arms, bringing the infantry to your own tower is a mistake because there's a tower on the other side from Sitaux. You should have kept your infantry underneath Sitaux's tower there. If it was 3 men-at-arms with the hill, Sitaux's got to fight that back, and it gets super awkward.
I said men-at-arms because I assumed it was coming in.
Oh, no, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
You would assume that the research would be coming in. Maybe he was thrown off by the Poles now gathering a little bit less gold from their stone.
Sitaux, what are you doing, dude? You saw the hill. You saw the direction your opponent came from. Where are you going?
Exploring everything. He's making sure Villese didn't escape. He's looking. He's scouting for full work real estate right now.
Yeah, that must be what it is.
Yeah.
Well, good recovery here.
Good scouting, right?
Yeah, good recovery from Villese. But you could tell because Sitaux didn't know where his opponent was, he's now made a mistake. And his spearmen split up, his archers are split up, and Villese is going to be able to play tower defense, which is a great fallback with the poles. He's even dropping a tower near his bulwark and his mining camp. And then Sitaux's scout just narrowly misses the TC fire.
If this was pre-patch poles, I think that build works with the 50% gathering of gold from the stone. But he didn't have enough gold there to get the men-at-arms upgrade.
Yeah.
And, well, Villese's eco is going to have to defend it just with towers.
Now, I do like that. And it's really frustrating feeling when you're Sitaux against it as well, because you feel like you're in a position to counterattack. You should be in the better spot. But at the end of the day, you've just lost 3 units and only killed 1. And I actually just noticed with the Eco KD that Villese had actually killed 1 as well. So Eco could arguably be better for Villese if he starts to get those farms up around the bulwark, and especially if he makes the bulwark behind his TC. Unless Sitaux does.
Is he coming forward again? He is. He's coming forward again for another tower. Sitaux still hasn't scouted his other wood lines around his base. He scouted all of that right area of the map, but none of the stuff at the back, the other woodline option to the south, none of that.
I'll be curious to see how sneaky Sitaux is right now. Because he's going to be extra sneaky here with these archers. Also, does he know? He's getting Town Watch now, Dave. It's not because he got housed, but he's actually looking to see, is there going to be a tower there? And Sitaux never went to stone. So he can't actually counter this. I'm beginning to prefer Vilese's position more and more. I don't know about you. The archers for Sitaux still looking for damage in the back. They see a full work, but they don't see any villagers right now.
You can just hang out there. That might be nice. If you see the farms going down, you could snipe them. But yeah, Villese is putting the farms on the other side of the floor.
It's so funny looking because you get the food boost, it being next to the full work, but it's also very safe and up against the town center.
Look at the resources from Sitaux right now.
That's true.
Sick, bro.
He has cut some corners,
sick build,
though.
Honestly.
Like, he has cut some corners because he didn't go for a blacksmith for fletching.
Didn't go for, doesn't have fletching at all.
He's going to, like, maybe get the resources to go castle, but then he won't have the wood to be able to click up.
Look at him not attacking any villagers. He doesn't have fletching on the archers, so he's simply attacking 4 farms. And all the villagers are like, what do we do?
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Well, Sitau's having some problems. It might even be worth it to get the man-at-arm upgrade here. Most players would never do it, but you still got militia here. And Sitau's going to try and trap the
skirmishers. Oh, he needed another gate. He needed just one more, and then he could have walled them in.
Oh, and he needs that wood, too. And he needs a tower, but he doesn't have the stone, and the villagers are just getting whittled down. The archers are still microing for Sitaux. It takes some crazy APM to be able to manage this. But he's got the resources for Castle Age. Can he get the buildings to click up before losing so many villagers?
I think he's going to lose another one here. Yeah, he goes down. Villagers still fighting here.
Yeah, Villese...
They're going to take out the archer, which means that this army is less of a threat now. And Sitaux gets the blacksmith up and he clicks up the castle.
Wow. Well, I mean, if he were to get a knight out, it could clear up all the skirm pressure. But we do have 2 villagers coming forward from Villese. And the skirms still have 2 minutes to be able to do this. Villese is a little distracted with some of the micro, but I think it's because Sitau's micro on the other side. Sitaux is able to get away with the archers there, which is very impressive. And here's a tower.
Villese now going for a tower. Sitaux just needs to abandon that gold and go to the one further back. I mean, I know he'd love the stone, but you just gotta stop engaging here with your vills. So much idle time.
Villese normally...
he's in. He is in, though. He is in against that tower. You can't wall the other side.
Like, Villese is so close to killing so many villagers, but he hasn't been able to finish them off. And now the scout arrives for Sitaux. Yeah, Sitau's going to kill the villager. Both villagers, actually, from Villese.
Wow.
And he's going to push the skirms away. Very well played. He should kill both villagers anyways.
And the scout getting value. Big value from that scout.
I have to say, like, you know, I'd mentioned it before this series. I haven't seen Villese be very active. I think he took a bit of a holiday break. This is his first round at Titans League.
Yeah, after TGM, when I saw him there, he said he was going to take a couple weeks break.
Yeah.
And then do Titans League.
And it, you know, to be honest, completely understandable, by the way. But it does look like there was a bit of a break involved here, right? Like, this is his first round. And I would have expected Villese to kill like 5 or 6 villagers from that position. And now Sitau's in Castle Age. Now Sitaux can make knights. And Sitaux has killed 2 villagers, only lost 3 this game. 15 to 11 KD.
And
the big thing for him is wood. Too. And there's the TC on the wood. Lovely decision from Sitaux.
Is he still not scouted the other...
Also,
he still hasn't scouted the other wood line to the south or the one to the west either.
Also, as the villager goes down there on the stone, there's 2 blacksmiths for Sitaux. So he can get double the upgrades. Oh, man. Villese is looking for the weak vills.
There's one right in front of you, dude.
There we go.
It is.
We can get the other one, too. He's now looking for this. He wasn't looking before. And, okay, Sitau's going to end up clearing it up. Sitaux will not be too pleased. He just lost 3 villagers, but when you have the second town center that much faster, it's all fine.
He is going to get a vill from Villese at least.
Yeah, good work there.
And Villese is still... He's only a minute away from Castle Age. He's still on stone. He only has 300 right now, but he goes for double stable of his own, as Sitaux is now dropping some awkward farms around that wood line.
Yeah, the key here is going to be monks, right? A lot of players... You're going to spam their knights, but are you going to go camels with poles? No. I think it's a very Villese thing to do as well. They want to drop a monastery anyways to heal up the weak units, but also get conversions. So
might just go pikeman. He's already got 6 spearmen.
That's true. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Confidently fights off the scouts there. A pikeman monk, both could be really good. He does have double stable, so I think just the spearmen are just going to be leftovers lying around, and Villese will drop a TC on his wood line. I don't know why that one villager is leaving.
Do the knights get in? Is it an overchop? They're in. They're in.
Well, there's a tower, so he could save most of them if they can move.
Oh, God. Oh, the healing is not going to help against the 3 knights.
That's painful.
3 villagers dead. Really nice raid.
You know, the scouts are going to go down for Sitaux, so now he doesn't have anything to pick off any monks. But still, you know, Sitaux 2 TCs for a while here, 46 villagers. We felt like the Chinese just make a lot more sense here than maybe the Poles. And I think at the very least, Villese showed us how many farms you can get on full works on Acropolis. It's a lot more than I was initially expecting. So, impressive job from him there.
And I like the fact that he's not like hard committing to get the perfect full works either.
Yeah.
He's just putting them in safe positions, right? So many people think that you need like all the farms around them. No, you can make do with 5 or 6, maybe 4 sometimes if it's safe.
Great awareness from Sitaux. He knew there'd probably be some sneaky night raids. He had 2 camels waiting, and the only spot he didn't really have vision on. And he's going to lure the knights back now to his base. And he's had a monastery already, so he's able to heal up those knights or get conversions. Now Villese is dropping the monastery, but Sitaux just seems like he's ahead, right? Ahead in some upgrades, but ahead in army control. 14 army versus 8, but Villese is not able to push with his army right now. Just never a position you'd love to be in when you have those numbers. Husbandry is a big upgrade here if both players don't have it.
I still don't like the lack of scouting here from Sitaux. I've said it so many times. Like, just getting some vision on where you can run to is probably really important, but I know he's been distracted. Archer in the back of his economy now with a pikeman there, too. And Villese suddenly has pikeman knight with a monastery as well.
And 3 monks in queue. The problem is he doesn't have the monks yet, and he just loses one of his units to a conversion. Sitaux's adding the siege. He's worried about this, and I like the siege timing. I think that's the proper play. Maybe a couple scorpions could be helpful, and he might even stay on 2 TCs here, David. Just like drop a castle towards the middle. It's almost Atacama-like.
Oh, knight gets converted, but it'll be converted right back.
Oh,
should have deleted that. Yeah, he should have deleted that 100%.
I like how there's a relic between all this as well, and neither player wants to go out there to get it because they know how important the conversions and the healing are going to be.
3rd TC now from Villese.
Oh, this is going to get crazy. So Sitaux's going to show Villese eventually here that he's counterattacking with the knights. And what a lot of people do in Villese's position is they immediately dive to the middle then because they know they have the army advantage there. But he's going to fall back, actually. He's going to chase that down. And in the meantime, Sitaux gets a conversion on the pikeman and now has the siege pushing there. Sitaux's playing like a beast here, Dave. He's looking so strong. Still following the pikeman with the monks as well and gets another conversion there.
Knights at the back there. Taking some damage. Villese manages to save his vills. There's 2 knights from the Finn looping around the back of Sitaux's base. So Sitaux has to be careful about that. If they get in on his gold and he doesn't notice, could be a lot of dead vills, and there's still some weak ones in there for him as he tries to loop into that wood line once more. Monks are there, though, so he needs to retreat. Meanwhile, at the front, he's going for a castle, Tristan. He's lacking 3 stone. 3 stone!
Oh, no. Oh, no, he's out. He has to drop a market.
No.
Are you kidding me? 3 stone.
Oh,
and the knights are going to go to that area, too. He could maybe make a mistake here on the front because of all this happening, and Villese is going to try and drop a very dangerous castle there.
Mangonel. He should almost let him build that castle if he
That's a horrible fight.
And then attack around it with the Mangonel. Now Sitaux going for a castle where he can't even get the villagers around the whole entire area.
Dude, Sitaux, just back it up, dude.
That's not what he does. That is not Sitaux's mantra.
There's a tower there. What a
He will simply go for the castle, and it is a castle versus castle. Sitaux has a big military behind this. Mangonel coming out. Will the Mangonel be sniped? Doesn't look like it, and that Mangonel can get some value against the villagers. He needs to save it. It's all in here from Villese against that Mangonel, but the Mangonel can't get in the right position. Sitaux is now trying to deny that castle.
Oh
he
my
needs to
God.
abandon his. That was terrible castle positioning from the Frenchman.
That was, yeah, it was just a throw, dude. That was the worst possible thing he could have done in that situation. Now, the stone thing was unlucky, but if he would have started his castle further back, like around where that relic is, his castle's up right now. And if his castle's up right now, he can make Chukunu, which would be very helpful against the pikemen. He'd have cover fire for this whole area, but my goodness, I can't believe that. Like, you know, the best of the best, obviously, they make the best decisions in the crucial moments. And that's just, unfortunately, an example for Sitaux of him not having the right outlook on a situation.
And now he's behind an eco when suddenly he was ahead in eco the entire game. He's behind in eco. He's a little bit ahead on military, but his opponent has a castle. He's taking that relic now, and you're not even on stone, so you can't even make a second or a first castle after canceling that initial foundation without buying way more stone. He's
delete
got 33 on gold.
Villese needs to delete these units. He keeps converting units and letting Sitaux get them back. But hey, I mean, it's a close game. 89 pop versus 86. 40 bucks on the line here. Not to mention the group standings, which can bring so much more. Okay, both players killing monks here. Villese loses another knight. And I will say this, like, there's not a ton of defensive army right now for Villese, but he does have the TC fire. And he does have the towers.
It's not near the fullworks, which are the most exposed part of his eco.
Yeah. This is a crazy
Camels
messy
and
game.
Knights could maybe do a lot of damage. I'd love to see the +2 armor come in from Sitaux, although Villese only with fletching on these TCs, and Sitaux is killing a lot of villagers here, Tristan.
Yeah, and he is expanding to a third town center. Like you said earlier, Dave, though, if he would have had vision on that area, he would have also had the wood line. Villese also killing villagers on the gold. He was there during the castle drop situation as well. But there's camels there for Sitaux. 84 villagers versus 72. Does feel like Sitaux's little attacking force will be finished off soon. Just running under one too many town center spots, but man, crazy game. Again, very close.
32 on gold still for Sitaux.
You got to buy a castle, right?
Yeah, it feels like it. Or buy the food for upgrades or something. Villese is now buying food.
It's kind of funny that Chinese and Poles are having food problems. You don't say that every day.
Ooh, he found himself a perfect forward.
Yeah, and he can defend that as well. Like, that's the issue, is Villese's in a better defensive position. And Castle Fire is going to help here. Sitaux trying to loop in more units. Probably didn't realize that they were pathing next to the castle. Ends up working out, though. No ballistics on that castle. And Villese doesn't exactly react to this right away. And all of a sudden, Sitaux gets some crazy kills.
Wow. Great fight there for Sitaux. Does he see that TC? He does not.
And there's monks and there's
killing Vills,
too.
And now he sees monks. Yeah, he needs to run away from that. There's the TC foundation.
Sitaux's mining stone at home. He's now looking more towards the north, so there could actually be an area to castle if you knew there was a TC there. But he also might opt for a defensive castle. There's a lot of options right now, but castle's definitely the thing that he's thinking of, as we have 114 pop versus 104. The ecos are starting to fly again for these guys. About 30 on food. And there go the Vills for Sitaux. He's going to place it on that hill.
Yep.
That's a good hill.
It's on a full work. It's on the TC. And you're kind of limiting Villese from running out to that side. Gives you a spot to push that TC north of it as well.
That should go up.
Some housing space.
That should definitely go up. First castle might not have gone up, but this is much better.
Yeah, safer castle in your opponent's base than the first one he tried to put down.
The key for me, though, has just been army production. Like, Sitaux's always been producing more army. Villese has been delayed in that.
Well, delayed is the key word, because we're getting to a point where...
Sitaux.
Oh, God.
Is this Doubt? We'll be casting Doubt later.
I don't think this castle gets denied. It's still going to go up. And he doesn't lose any villagers building it, so it's fine.
Well, Sitaux doesn't lose any villagers building
and he's up to the Imperial Age.
What? And so is Villese, as he's dropping his castle right next to this. So he's going to have two castles, but will Sitaux go for another one? He is going to go for another one right next to this town center. I love that position. It's going to be so awkward for Villese.
Stay on the hill here with your knights and your camels. I know there's a temptation to send them in other parts of the eco, but when this castle goes up, all those vills will need to run somewhere else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sitaux is heading back.
Look at
the military.
Look at the town center that Villese is adding. He's adding it next to the relic there because he knows he's going to lose the other one. Good counterattack from Villese, though, with the knights, because that's why Sitaux is coming back, or you know, ended up having to make more army here and idle all that farming eco, just because of that little raid. All right.
+2 armor coming in for the cavalry. Really, really nice from Sitaux. And Villese losing a couple villagers, still hasn't tasked them away from where he built that castle. So distractions coming in here as he adds archery ranges now.
Yeah, I mean, he has Bodkin Arrow already. That obviously benefits his castles.
+2 knights heading in.
And his TCs.
+2 knights heading in.
We see a garrison here for Villese, who's been behind with army production most of this game. He does have 2 TCs garrisoned here. So the units will probably run away, but good value there from Sitaux on the raid. He'll get his 24th and 25th villager
on
kill.
The right. He won't be able to place that because of the farm.
If he gets it up, though, that is a sick spot.
It's a good castle spot. It's sick, yeah.
It's so risky, though. He has no army there.
Oh, he will
can
be
place it. What?
Huh?
That's got to be a capture age thing. That should not be possible. Watch Villese be like, I placed that there. Oh, he's going to counter castle.
Oh, again. Here we go again. Sitaux should have enough to get that up. There is a knight there, but camels are coming. Villese hardcore committing to that. Both players will get the castles up. Villese having to deal with knights in the back of his eco, though. And the villager count is evening out for both players.
I think Sitaux, though, he's got the edge with the Treb production. He's got good army count still. And his castles have been immediately disrupting his opponent's economy.
Yep.
Whereas that's not the case for any of these castles for Villese. So, you know, there's a lot of eco underneath these castles, and it's very easy to forget about things. As the camels loop in underneath the town center, like Sitaux just nonstop, like in the north, on the right side now as well in the full work, just pressuring all the time.
2 Trebs waiting to take down that castle in Villese's base. And Villese's trying to mass up crossbows. And this is just like Sitaux's army is so much better for a momentum push like this. Villese needs safe space to mass those crossbows, soon to be arbalest.
Oh, man.
Sitaux's not giving him any space whatsoever.
Yeah, this might be over soon, man. I mean, there's so much idle time for Villese, like 30, 40 idles. He's losing villagers everywhere I look. He's going to potentially even lose a trebuchet here. And he
behind on villagers now.
He just can't afford to compete with the Treb War if this continues like this. And his villagers are just going to get picked off by Cavalier. That'll have full armor. And there's going to be more of them for Sitaux. 34 farmers, 16 on gold. And just pressuring all the time, like we said.
He's making Chinese look pretty good on Necropolis, isn't he? 2 games now. Maybe we could question the Civ selection for Villese, but Villese falls behind in villagers now by a considerable amount when he was ahead for the longest time. He does take out that forward castle from Sitaux, but it forced the distraction over to this side, and Sitaux's been clearing up on the other side and in the middle of Villese's base as well.
Very hard to come back in these situations. When your opponent has Cav, almost impossible, because you have you don't have the army momentum, so they're just going to pick the spots. Villese will pressure there, so that's nice. Yeah, kill some monks. But then look at the other side, right? The Cavalier just loop in, and you're forced to chase that. If you don't chase that, you're going to lose the rest of your economy.
Wow, so many dead villagers in the north. Holy. Villese's trying to do the classic thing, like sacrifice a couple vills to distract the Cavalier, but they're killing too quickly.
GG's
and
called.
He calls the GG. Wow, Sitaux, what a performance.
Dude, like I said, I mean, the fact that he wasn't in Platinum for the first season, I think, had him come in here very motivated. And then you had Villese, who, again, completely understandable, took a bit of a break around the holidays, you know, is going to ease back into things here in Titans League Season 2. And
no easing here.
There's no easing at all, dude. Sitaux got a win off of Viper, could have had 2 there. Now he wins 2-1 versus Villese. And apart from the closed map strategies, this guy's looked really, really good. I think a player who can play Chinese this well, who can survive everything that he survives, could go to Arena and other maps and play the meta there too. But you know, like, I'm impressed with Sitaux, but also I'm excited to see Villese get back into tip-top shape here, because not having Man-at-Arms with the Man-at-Arm build show that he didn't really have a lot of practice there. The Poles pick didn't really scream strong to me, but all in all, a good series.
Also some concerning decision making from Sitaux, like the castle position, right?
Fair point. Yeah. That was ambitious.
That's a word for it, I suppose. The KD in this game is really nice for him. Like, you could tell he just got in there and started killing villagers left and right. 73 or 79 eco kills for him, only 23 losses that entire game, and half of those probably came trying to build castles. So really, really nice stuff for the Frenchman. Chinese looking pretty strong here. I mean, Sitaux was up, I think, to Castle Age with like 18 seconds of idle TC time or something like that,
so
which is pretty ridiculous.
As Castle Age time was also really good, right? Like, remember, I think Villese had like 80 food, and Sitaux had 500 at one point in Feudal Age. So he knows how to play them too. I mean, the thing I like about Sitaux as a player is that he's always on the move. And he, even if you're attacking him, he's going to be sending a counterattack. It's so impressive how he's able to judge that, because there were many situations in this game where I was thinking like, geez, man, like, is he really going to have nothing at home? Remember, 0 towers at home beyond the tower on the wood line. There was like skirmishers, spearmen, tower attempt in his base. And he was still just counterattacking. He didn't care. And that aggression pays off for him. Good win. Makes Group D very interesting. We'll have to see more from all the players in Group D. But just to list off those names again for people that don't remember. You've got Viper, Villese. Both players were top 4 in the first season, by the way. Then you have Sitaux, Sebastian. Who am I missing from this group?
Barles,
Tato. And then Tato. It's a crazy group. And that means, like, for Tato and Barles and all these guys, Sebastian, Viper, all these guys need to be getting all the wins they can, because if Les is losing a series, who knows what's going to happen?
I think Sitaux, like, if you told him your first 2 opponents are going to be Viper and Villese, and you're going to come out of it 1-1 and 3-3 on the game score, Sitaux would be like, oh, yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Sign me up. Yes, sign me up. What a great start.
Yeah, and I will now look at Sitaux as possibly the favorite against every other player in that group, honestly, including Tato, because I watched Tato play Barles.
Tato plays the way that he played against Barles. Yeah, we cast that together. That was interesting, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, players are gonna, get back in shape, and it's cool to see the motivation and the practice pay off there. So congratulations, Sitaux, on the 2-1 win. Obviously for Villese, not the end of the world, but crazy things happening in Group D.